Hello and welcome. This is Bloomberg Queen's Stocks to Watch. This is where we take you through three stocks which are in the news and address them with our experts. Today, we are talking about United Breweries and the kind of earnings that we've had and what we can do with that one. We also have Bharti Infratel on account of a board meeting, and of course, Ashok Leyland from the commercial vehicle space. To take us through these three stocks, we have Avinash Gorakshakar, the Director of Research at Profitmart Securities. Avinash, good morning, and thanks so much for joining in. Let me start by taking up the first stock. Now, when it comes to United Breweries, we've seen a decline of nearly 13% in the fourth quarter. Its net profits have also come off by as much as 39%. You've seen a contraction in operating margins too. And of course, a lot of this has to do with the weakness that we've seen in the last couple of weeks of March, which is why the fourth quarter overall has had so much weakness. Avinash, if you can on United Breweries, how are you viewing this one, and what is the way forward from here?
Morning, Agam. I think clearly, numbers which came from United Breweries were on expected lines, and I think the fourth quarter was clearly a very, kind of a difficult quarter considering the pandemic and the kind of low demand seen, especially in Western markets like Maharashtra. The positive part about the results was the company has mentioned that the premium brands did exceedingly well, and hopefully, I think once as the lockdown is now gradually opening and home delivery of liquor is allowed, I would believe that from the second quarter of FY21 recovery should start coming in. Hopefully, the first quarter could be quite bad considering that April and May were complete lockdown kind of months. So we may not see any recovery immediately. But yes, I think from the second quarter, hopefully, I think numbers should improve. And I think overall the markets were expecting a kind of a disappointing show. So overall, I think the management commentary still appears to be quite positive, and some more news flows could obviously be known in today's conference call. So I think definitely, from these levels, I don't think the stock would see a major correction. I think near term definitely would be volatile, but longer term we continue to be positive.
Okay. From to Bharti Infratel. Now, Bharti Infratel, of course, has seen a lot of volatility of late. We understand that for now it has extended its long stop date with respect to its merger with Indus Towers until August 31st. Do remember, this is at least the second time that they extended the long stop date. The suggestion here from the board is that the required conditions that have to meet with the merger have yet to be fulfilled, which is why they cannot go ahead with this. And of course, at this point in time, they have reiterated this particular scheme. Avinash, I'm sure there must be a lot of complications when it comes to the Indus Tower merger at this point, and a lot of these issues may not be as easy to resolve in time. But what's your view on Infratel? How do we go forward from here?
No, I think Agam clearly, the kind of delay which has been witnessed in this merger, I think is definitely not a good sign, and I think the markets would be clearly looking at some sort of tangible result, from the 31st August deadline. I think the deadline being extended for a long period clearly means that there is a lot of uncertainty on the valuation and the kind of complexities in this entire exercise. So I think in the very near term, you could expect some weakness in the stock because the markets would definitely not be happy by this extension up to 31st August. So I think net it's better to stay away till we get a better clarity on the deal, because this deal is going to be extremely important for Bharti Infratel. And if at all it gets cancelled or it gets completely negated, then I think you could see further weakness in the stock. So I would believe that those who have it should hold it, but fresh buying should be avoided.
Sure. All right. And the final stock today, which is in discussion, that's Ashok Leyland. We're expecting earnings today from Ashok Leyland, but do remember, even if you just keep the COVID-19 impact aside, the commercial vehicle space was anyways going through a little bit of a slowdown. Avinash, what I've also noticed that in the last 3 months, Ashok Leyland has done slightly better than the Nifty Auto Index by advancing by as much as 52, 53 odd percent against the Nifty Auto Index up as much as 43%. This, of course, is because of the rebound that we saw from the March-April lows. Where do you stand on Ashok Leyland right now?
I think Agam, Ashok Leyland, the entire market as well as analysts, who track it, expect the fact that this quarter is not going to be a good quarter. considering the fact that commercial vehicle sales still continue to be in negative territory. And I think, unless we see a very strong economic recovery, it's very difficult to visualize whether commercial vehicle sales will actually grow in positive, momentum. I would believe that Ashok Leyland's management commentary, I think, would be very important, considering that at least for the next 1 or 2 quarters, Agam, you're going to see negative growth. And obviously, since they have a fairly high leverage balance sheet, it's going to actually eat into their profitability significantly. So I think post the results, the management commentary on the growth outlook and the recovery, kind of signs when they do happen would be immediately, monitored by the markets. I think any negative surprise here or any cautious commentary could possibly make the stock weaker. So I would believe, yes, one can hold on. The stock has definitely done well in this market, but I think a significant amount of re-rating will be possible only from the second half of FY21 onwards, not before that.
Sure. All right. And let me conclude by asking you about an idea or a theme that you have that you're playing around with, Vinash, at this point in time.
In fact, Agam, looking at the current markets, we continue to be positive on some select auto component players, and I think here we have been, looking at Suprajit Engineering, which is an interesting auto component play. It's one of the largest, players within the automotive and non-automotive cable segments, and I think the company has posted a reasonable show, 1,500 crore top line and a profit after tax of almost 105 to 106 crores. The management commentary has also been quite positive, so I would believe that investors who are looking for a slightly longer term horizon can definitely look at this company, considering that it's available at a fair, attractive valuation. And I think hopefully two-wheelers would be the first to recover, and I think that could definitely have a positive rub off on this company. So I think Suprajit could be acquired, for a slightly medium to long term kind of time frame.
Okay, Avinash, we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining us and taking us through your views on the stocks discussed today. And
Thank
on
you.
that, it's a wrap on this segment, but there's lots more lined up. Stay tuned to Bloomberg Mint.